Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel if you've been here before, and welcome if this is your first time here. My name is Alex and I have just recently moved back to South Korea, and I'm an English teacher currently living in Seoul. So backtracking just a little bit, 2 years ago I was a teacher living in Daegu in the countryside, teaching with EPIK at 2 public schools. And then I took a year out to travel the world, and baby, I am back. However, this time round I'm teaching at a Hagwon in Seoul, right in the city centre. However, in this video, I'm just going to talk about my reasoning behind choosing a Hagwon over EPIK this time, and why I came back to teach in Korea for another gorgeous girl year. So sit back, relax, and let's get into why I chose teaching in a Hagwon this time round and living in Seoul. So the main reason that I chose to teach in a Hagwon over EPIK this time was for the fact that I kind of wanted a lot more control over my class. I knew that I wanted my own class. I wanted to be a homeroom teacher. I knew that I really wanted to do everything with just one class, compared to with EPIK that it was 22 separate classes. I taught over 1,000 children, and it was very overwhelming in that sense. I really wanted to challenge myself outside of my comfort zone, because with EPIK, don't get me wrong, it was difficult at times. However, I very much felt like I was in my comfort zone with EPIK. Yes, I made my own materials. Yes, I could kind of teach my own way. And yes, I was with my co-teacher. However, we had a good balance of she would lead classes, I would lead classes. However, the one thing that I found with EPIK is I would make a lesson, and then this lesson would be recycled for 6, 7, 8 lessons in a row. So by the end of it, I've taught the same lesson 8 times, but to these children in the different classes, they've only been taught it once, which was absolutely fine. This was really, really easy because I didn't have to do a lot of planning. But I just very much felt with EPIK, I was kind of in my comfort zone. There wasn't much challenge to the actual job. However, this time round, I've only got a small little class of 6 students, which I'm actually kind of overwhelmed by, because usually you have between 10 and 12 students. I've only got 6, which is perfect. I can give them all the attention in the world. I obviously know their names, I know their personalities, and I know how I can individualize my lessons to each student. As with EPIK, this was not the case. So this was definitely the main reason that I wanted to go down the Hagwon route. With EPIK, I had 22 different classes spread out over 2 schools. This time round, I've got 1 class in 1 school, and it's literally the best thing ever. Another reason behind me going down the Hagwon route this time is that I really wanted to teach kids with a higher level of English, but also kids of a younger age. Now, I was in 2 minds. I was how can I achieve smaller kids but a higher level of English? And I was oh, actually the Hagwon route provides that. At my last job, I was teaching between 3rd grade and 6th grade, so they were between 8 to 12 years old. With the public school in Korea, you don't actually learn English until the 3rd grade, so until you are 8 years old. So for the majority of my kids, and especially living in the countryside, this is the first time they've ever been exposed to a foreigner. This is the very first time that they've been exposed to the English language. So I was very much teaching them the basics, so in terms of phonics, in terms of very simple words. In some situations, I was even teaching the 3rd graders how to actually physically write the letters, and I was absolutely very comfortable with teaching them the very basic level of English. However, in terms of a motivating factor for me, it was kind of very slow progress. I myself didn't feel very challenged because it was very simple work for me as well. And then in terms of my older kids, my 12-year-olds, my 6th graders, I was only really teaching them very basic sentences this is a blue dress, this is a red car. And again, I wasn't mentally stimulated by this. And like I said on my previous point, I was teaching this lesson literally 8, 9, 10 times in a row. So I just kind of felt I was in a monotony with my lessons. However, this time around at my Hagwon, oh my goodness, the kids' education level is so high. My class, I'm actually teaching 6-year-olds, and they are so cute. Oh my god, I cannot even emphasize enough how cute they are. But for 6-year-olds, so these are kindergarteners, their English level is, don't get me wrong, it's not so advanced, but I'm definitely teaching them a lot more advanced things than I would my 6th grader, my 12-year-olds within the public school system. These parents pay a lot of money for their kids to go into these kind of schools, so I can definitely understand that the education is a lot more impressive, and they do definitely focus a lot more on English here. But in my school, it's a fully immersive English environment. So from 9 o'clock in the morning till 1:30 until they go home, they are fully immersed in English, whereas compared to my other school, they literally have 40 minutes of English per week, and it'd literally just be the same lesson multiple times. So yeah, that was definitely a reason behind going down the Hagwon route. And also I can have a more in-depth conversation with my students as well. I can actually ask them how their weekends are, or how they're feeling. I can actually get to know them on an individual basis. However, with EPIK, my career wasn't totally up to scratch. obviously these children, their English wasn't totally up to scratch. So the language barrier is quite difficult at times to actually make any sort of good connection apart from screaming Alex teacher down the hallways. Another major point of why I chose Hagwon this time round was because I knew exactly what I was going into. Having the experience of being in the country already for a year, I made a lot of friends. I've had a lot of friends that have stayed like a 3rd year or even 4th years or 5th years, and they really know like the education system in Korea very well. They know the best schools, they know the areas to avoid, they know the pros and the cons of everything. So I was really fortunate that I had those connections of what to avoid and what to actually go towards. It is very common in Korea that you get the Hagwon horror stories. Hagwons notoriously can be very challenging. However, I've realized that if you don't do your research, if you haven't kind of got like a foot in the door already through some sort of connection, it is very hard to find a very good Hagwon. And don't get me wrong, like I'm not trying to like sway your opinion of trying never to apply for a Hagwon, because there are really, really good ones out there. However, having that foot in the door really does help decipher between the good and the bad. I'm presuming that quite a few people that are watching this video are going to be applying from abroad straight to Korea, straight to a Hagwon, with not that much real knowledge of actually what the Hagwon system is. Each Hagwon is completely different. You can either have like a family-run Hagwon, you can have an absolutely large-scale Hagwon that's got about 30 different Hagwons throughout the country. You can have a stricter Hagwon, you can have a Hagwon with different pay, or you can have a Hagwon with different holidays. So my biggest advice, if you are applying for a Hagwon, please do your research. Please do not take the first job offer that you are given. Please interview at a lot of different places and kind of pick and choose what you want, because at the end of the day, a Hagwon is a business, so they are going to do what's best for the business. And if something just doesn't feel right during the Hagwon application process, then in all honesty, it's probably a red flag, so don't go for it. But yeah, literally just coming off like the back of traveling, I really wanted to have that comfort of knowing that my school was going to be good. And it is a really fantastic school. I really got lucky with like the working hours, my pay is pretty generous. And the school itself, it's not like a huge franchise, but it's also not like a really small family run, so it's kind of in the middle, and which for me, I'm really grateful for. And with my Hagwon as well, I've kind of got like full reign of the classroom. Yes, I have a schedule to follow. Yes, I have a curriculum to follow. But in terms of actually what I teach them and how I teach them, I have full reign, which I'm so happy about. And for this reason, having a foot in the door in Korea already from my experience with EPIK, this is why I went down the Hagwon route. So there's obviously more reasons why I chose the Hagwon route over the EPIK route this time. Things are such like my apartment. Like my apartment is probably 3 times as big as my last apartment. In terms of location, I'm right in the center of Seoul. The convenience of living in Seoul is completely unmatched to where I was last time, and I'm just so grateful that anything I need is here. My pay is substantially better. So yes, even though I'm doing a little bit more intense work, I definitely think my pay reciprocates the amount of work that I'm doing. But yeah, if you're ever like thinking about coming to a Hagwon, please do message me. Like, please check online about the green lists and the black lists and watch all these YouTube videos as well, because people just give you an honest opinion. I feel like as a foreigner community living here in Seoul or in South Korea, and we all kind of are just like stuck together. We're all here for each other. We're all foreigners in a brand new country that we don't speak the language, which is very different from back home. So yeah, we're all kind of here just to help each other. So fingers crossed, if you do apply for a Hagwon, you don't get a bad situation. But yeah, in summary, I am so grateful for my school. I'm so grateful for my children, like 6 kids. I just cannot even like fathom how happy I am. Like, I was happy with 10 kids or 12 kids, but 6 kids? I got 4 boys, 2 girls. They're an absolute dream. My co-teacher's a dream. My walk to work is literally like 20 minutes. It's by the cherry blossoms. Oh my goodness, cherry blossom season is literally nearly up on us. So yeah, I'm definitely grateful that I went down Hagwon this time rather than EPIK. However, even though EPIK was absolutely fantastic, and especially for first years, I really just wanted the responsibility of growing, and I wanted my responsibilities of being a homeroom teacher, kind of doing what I want to do with my children, getting to know my children a lot better, and also not even just teaching English, but teaching things like reading, science. In one of my classes, I'm even doing robotics, obviously within English, but it's quite nice having like a change of lesson, so it kind of spices things up for me as well. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you got a bit of insight into why I choose a Hagwon this time round. And as always, if you have any questions, please drop them down below. I'm more likely to respond on Instagram, so please drop me a message over there as well. I think the link should be somewhere down in the bio. And as always, if you want more of this kind of content of my life in Korea, hit that subscribe button because I'll be posting very regularly. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and maybe I will see you over in South Korea sometime soon. Gorgeous goals. Have a good day.